to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
Hi, I didn't see you there. We're having a good summer, aren't we? In this oppressive heat. We're getting through it anyway. And us here at the INS are having a really good time, taking a little bit of time off, giving you these Patreon stories. I hope you're enjoying them. We'll be back in no time, but as for now, here's a few more stories that you may not have heard because they were back on the Patreon. Did I repeat myself? Yes, I think I did. Is it really early in the morning? Yeah. Am I a hair hungover? That means yes. So without any further ado, here goes a few Patreon stories from the International News Service.
INS Patreon exclusive.
This next story comes to us from NPR.
Oh,
National Public Radio.
the National Public Radio, the state news source of the United States. What was the Soviet propaganda rag? Pravda. What was it called?
Pravda, yeah, Pravda.
Pravda. That's our Pravda. That's where all our jingoistic American nonsense comes from.
Yes.
NPR, defending the 4th of July on NPR.
They hate the 4th of July on NPR.
My name's Terry Gross, and I hate people that are happy.
This can't be for Patreon because that has to be the name of the episode now.
My name is Kai Rizdal, and God is not real.
Should we keep doing more?
I kind of do too.
This is Jab, Ab, and Rob, and I just want to say that women are also men. There's 62 genders. Hey, this is Ira Glass, and you know how sometimes someone thinks that you should be allowed to worship God in your own way? Well, you're wrong, because the only way to worship God is to respect Buddhism, and that's the only right way. And you have to have premarital sex with someone of both genders in order to experience both sides, basically. Everyone is bisexual, and the state should mandate everyone being bisexual. The way my mom, no joke, the way my mom is afraid of, I think she thinks that is all things that are said on NPR. She's fairly certain that is the tenor and topics covered on NPR.
I mean, it is. She's right.
Well, I've never listened. I only listened to old CDs of compilations of grunge bands. Ooh, a Veruca Salt song. That's later era.
Cats are rarely called heroes, and black cats are considered bad luck. But one black cat named Piran might be on a mission to change that. In late August, when Piran's 83-year-old owner fell down a steep 70-foot ravine near her home, Piran meowed relentlessly at the point
It's like
where
a
she'd fallen.
story drop.
Yeah. Well, she slid. It's a steep ravine, not a sheer ravine.
Well, it wasn't too steep.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the story.
I see as a lot of camera moves of and then another cut even further down.
Just dentures flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Just, I get it.
Piran meowed relentlessly at the point where she'd fallen. Eventually, a search team noticed the cat and was able to locate the woman. Research crews then hoisted the woman onto a stretcher and got her to the hospital in stable condition. The researchers said it would likely have taken much longer to find the woman if it wasn't for Piran's meowing.
Were they researchers, Kevin?
Oh, rescuers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Still had mini brains.
No, I was worried about her brain. I thought maybe
Rescuers like those Disney mice?
Yes.
that's what Piran was meowing at.
Yeah,
Oh,
Piran was
point.
just trying to eat those little fuckers.
This was all a cat ploy to get the cat. Probably pushed
Exactly.
the 80-year-old woman into the ravine to lure
Yeah.
the rescuers out.
You go back to the cat's house, and there's just a little tiny magnifying glass and a little cloak, and like, well, that was the great mouse detective. This kitty.
He's like he keeps trophies from the
There's a little red cloak, and that's the secret of Nim is going to be a secret forever.
Sorry, Miss Frisbee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goners. Maybe there's a bowler hat and a yellow sweater from Jerry's cousin.
The rescue crew and police called Piran a hero, and a neighbor said the cat had been rewarded with lots of treats.
I think I like cats. I haven't been able to bond with one since my good cat friend passed away. I've not found a cat that I've connected with on that level. I've become a bit of a dog person, and I think I don't know. I think there is something that cats, and I don't know. Maybe it is just that cat was hungry and was mad that it wasn't getting food when it wanted it. Or it might have been some sort of genuine concern, some sort of, I don't know how animals think exactly, but...
How many old people, Mike, do you think a year are injured or killed by a cat crawling between their legs when they're trying to walk? I mean, isn't a cat dangerous to have when you reach a certain age?
When you're young, they steal your breath. When you're old, they trip you to death. That is the famous rhyme.
That's the rhyme. That's what I have on the wall.
Yeah.
To remind you?
It's right below Live, Laugh, Love. I have the cat thing.
Who knows? I mean, also, can't you, like, crazy from sniffing cat litter?
From the cat droppings, you can get, like, a parasite. Yeah. That.
You heard it here first. The cure... The cure for COVID Delta variant is eating cat shit.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It's called Rectamol.
Rectamol.
Feline Rectamol. That's a International News Service exclusive.
Do we have an exclusive sounder, Mark? Like,
Yeah.
Can it be like 3 lightning bolts, like thunderbolts in a row?
Exclusive.
I'll work on that.
Don't lie to us.
We can do it. We can do it on our own. Exclusive. See?
Exclusive.
Did you ever hear this is what I say to people that are YouTubing too much, people that live online. I say, listen, just because you make content doesn't mean you are content.
Wait, what?
Wow, that's going to go right below the cat thing. Live, laugh, love. Cats killing you. And
Yeah.
and I'll attribute the content one to you.
Too young, cat will steal your breath. Too old, cat will trip you to death.
Whoa.
Getting tripped to death is a hard visual, but I get it.
Yeah, maybe that cat tripped that fucking old lady down on the fucking ravine.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
He probably went towards the edge and meowed incessantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's his trick. And she was like, oh, there must be something in the ravine. And then when she looked over, he put his paws on the back of her legs and pushed her forward. Just pushed her right into that ravine. And then she just started tumbling.
Yeah.
All the way.
So he wasn't actually meowing. He was just laughing.
Well, no, he hit his head and like forgot that the cat knocked him over, or she hit her head and forgot that the cat knocked her over.
But I'm saying the cow wasn't the cow.
The cow. She's a woman.
Oh yeah, listen,
Come on, Kevin.
don't put body shaming on this. That's not your role
cool.
as a journalist to tell her that she needs to cut down on her eating biscuits, tea, and
Is
maybe
she British?
maybe
Yeah, she was
two,
British.
maybe one lump
yeah.
of sugar, not two. Mrs. Grumble Scythe.
That's her name for sure.
Yeah.
They changed her name to Johnson when their branch of her family came to the States in the 1600s.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing to the INS Patreon. INS Patreon exclusive.
So this story comes to us from The Independent.
Favorite skateboard trucks.
As our listeners are no doubt aware, Mike and Brian didn't have prom dates in high school. Unlike...
How would they?
How would they know? How would they be
How would they
aware
know
of that?
that?
Trust me, they know that.
They're not aware of
They
that.
know.
Out of choice.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Because there was Victoria's Secret had a runway show that
I'm
night.
sure that's And your girlfriend was in the runway show. The one from
She wasn't my girlfriend. I was going there to get my pick of the litter.
Right.
And
Right.
the theme was kitty cats.
Mike and I were very cool in high school.
Oh yeah, I know. I
Very
knew
cool.
very
Very-
cool. Yeah.
Very well regarded
Yeah.
by
By who?
all the ladies.
Name one.
All the ladies. All of them.
So Brian
of them.
can't name one, is what I'm hearing. So unlike
Mhm. I've named them all.
Chalice.
I've named
Chalice.
Chalice,
Chalice. Sure. I remember you talking to Chalice all the
that's not a
time.
name.
Okay, well, tell Chalice's mom that. I mean,
Yeah.
you can write anything on a birth certificate. Fucking dumbass Elon Musk named his kid a bunch of whatever you get when a cat walks on your keyboard.
You can write 6-piece chicken nugget on a.
That is true. Cal Drogo.
I mean, Cal Drogo is a biblical name, but 6-piece chicken nugget, yes, is a bit more. But that's, I let my kids. I could let them name themselves.
So unlike Mike and Brian, however, a girl named Mel didn't let her dateless status discourage her, and she posted a real photo to Instagram with her prom date, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. She included the caption, quote, "Thank you, The Rock, for taking me to prom. I had so much fun. Best date a person could ask for." Of course, it wasn't the real Rock in the photo. Instead, Mel's date was a cardboard cutout. Yet, unlike Mike and Brian, she still went to prom. Nevertheless, 8 days later, The Rock saw the Instagram post and reposted it with the caption, quote, "It was absolutely my honor. You were the best prom date ever. Great to meet your family and friends, too." His post had over 3 million likes.
Those are decent numbers. Kind of like some of my funny tweets.
Yeah, you've done more than that, I think, several times.
Yeah, here's the thing about The Rock. He's down to clown. Like he likes to have fun, likes to have a good time. I'm surprised that the QAnon people haven't come after him and accused him of attempting to devour the girl, because he is a Hollywood elite.
Well, it's true.
Elites.
Sure.
He eats about 30 pounds of chicken a day. He eats 300 grams of protein every 3 minutes.
I wouldn't want him anywhere near my toilet. I'm just saying.
He's actually figured out how to not shit. he takes alpha brain. He takes alpha brain monkey mindset injections because he wants to stay on top.
It sounds like you're describing steroids.
I'm just trying alpha brain monkey mindset injections.
That's quite a leap, Kevin, I think.
Yeah, that's a junk.
That's yeah.
These are not anabolic.
Oh, well, you know, they have,
These are
diabolic.
These are bananabolic. They actually have real fruit juice in them.
wow.
Not from concentrate.
Concentrating.
Oh, from concentrate. I'll take it back.
From concentrating, yeah. Concentrating, yeah.
It helps you concentrate.
It helps you concentrate, and that's where they get the name.
What?
Well, let me.
I don't. How does
traditionally, at the end. Hold on. Traditionally, at the end of prom.
How would you know this?
Let me say this. Somebody's getting fingered.
You got fingered at prom?
I didn't go to prom. I went to the Victoria's Secret Pussycat runway show.
Of course you did.
They flew me up there.
Yeah. No, it was super cool.
But there's usually some kind of sexual shenanigans that happen at the prom.
That is, every sitcom has taught me that is indeed the case.
Yeah.
That is, I guess my question is, do we think that this is where The Rock lost his virginity recently?
That would explain the tweet.
I mean, The Rock has like 3 kids.
They're probably adopted.
They're adopted.
He has some number of kids.
I mean, you don't have to. You can be a virgin and adopt kids. I think that's not a rule.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Nuns all the time.
Yeah,
nuns and their giants. What the Sound of Music's about, right? Didn't she adopt all the kids?
Yeah.
I've never seen The Sound of Music.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. The Hills are alive.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
He has 3 children.
And she spins around a lot. Oh, okay.
And he's
Adopted
currently
kids.
married to a woman named Lauren Haitian.
That
could not sound like more of a fake name.
That sounds pretty fake.
That sounds like some Hollywood tomfoolery. Well, either way, there's no question about it. He is a hunk.
Oh, he's a hunk man.
I hope that I don't know how old this girl was, so I really can't say what I hope. I don't know what I hope. Is what I'm saying.
Nobody, like, they wouldn't. Her high school and location and last name weren't mentioned, so I believe that she probably is still a minor. I didn't dig too deeply because it was, I want to respect.
I will say this. I'm sure, like, people that read this, like, oh, how nice for her. What a big win for her. Nah, this is not fucking helping her at high school in any way, shape, or form. This hurts. I mean, I feel bad for her. Like, there's, I get why somebody who's not in high school might think like, oh, that's great. She did it just kind of a joke. And then the real guy reached out. She must be so happy. No, she's fucking mocked even more mercilessly.
Well,
now.
she might have graduated.
It just cements the mockery in place.
She might have graduated.
Yeah. Well,
so,
like, but prom doesn't happen the day before graduation. It happens like earlier,
like early May.
It was like April
mid-May.
or something like that.
It was like I think she posted the photos on May 22nd.
She still has 2 weeks of people fucking shitting on her every day.
Do you remember the episode where Marsha and Davy Jones went out on a date, and how she was just reviled by that whole town?
Yeah.
What is this an episode of?
The Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they threw water balloons filled with blood at her.
Was it appropriate for Davy Jones to date a minor?
I don't know. Joe Namath played with a little boy.
Well, he threw football with him.
Mm-hmm.
It was the 1950s.
Peter, I think,
they let people do anything they want back then. The world was different.
The 1970s.
In the 1950s.
It was the 1970s.
No.
I think 50s sounds right.
Fonzie, the fucking leather jacket, all that shit.
Are you guys ready to go to the
50s for sure.
The arts and culture corner?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So
this is Section E of the paper, just before classified.
Put my ascot on.
So
I just got through reading about a bridge hand I might have someday and what I should do if I get that bridge hand. It's time to read about arts and culture.
So this is our new segment, the arts and culture segment. If you would, Mark, I'm guessing we have an intro
Are you
here.
saying segment?
Segment.
Like Segment the Sea Monster.
No.
Segment.
Segment.
Okay, go ahead. This is
so cue the music
already
here. Okay. I like that Mike contributed to that by just holding his hand up and shaking it.
I shook my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
He had a rhythm egg in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this story comes to us from NPR.
National Pubic Radio.
The Las Vegas wedding industry generates $2 billion per year. And one of the most common themes at a Las Vegas wedding is the Elvis themed wedding. Or at least it was until now. It seems that in May, Authentic Brands Group, which is the company that manages the name and likeness of Elvis, sent dozens of cease and desist letters to Las Vegas chapels demanding an end to Elvis in their wedding services. The letter says chapels must cease using, quote, Presley's name, likeness, voice, image, and other elements of Elvis Presley's persona in advertisements, merchandise, and otherwise. It forbids chapels from using the term, quote, the king of rock and roll, which is a protected trademark. The impact of Elvis on Las Vegas weddings is so great that the Clark County clerk who handles weddings for Las Vegas said, quote, it might destroy a portion of our wedding industry. A number of people might lose their livelihoods. However, Authentic Brands Group can't totally remove Elvis from Las Vegas. Elvis impersonators and their live performances are protected under Nevada's right of publicity law, and somehow the Graceland Wedding Chapel, which performs 6,400 Elvis-themed weddings per year, has continued its themed weddings because it says it has not received a letter yet.
The old, it was lost in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Does that work? Can I say, like, I never got that?
I mean, yeah, that's why certified mail exists.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is when you send a demand letter, you send it with certified mail.
Why can't these chapels just say that they're Kurt Russell themed weddings?
Yes, or Kevin and Costner.
Well, I mean, what is the name of that movie?
That
500 miles to
That's right.
Graceland.
300 miles to Graceland. Something like that. Or Bokeem Woodbine.
Did he play Elvis?
Yeah, he plays an Elvis in there, part of the heist group.
Oh, wow. So they're still doing Kurt Russell as Elvis is the problem. You couldn't do any Elvis songs. You couldn't do, In the Ghetto, for example.
In the Ghetto?
No, you're doing Kurt Russell from like that Coen Brothers movie, the bowling thing.
Yeah, they might offer that as a wedding option, but nobody is scrambling for the dude wedding the way they are scrambling for the Elvis wedding. One chapel, 6,400 a year. That's like 20 a day.
I bet some people are doing dude weddings.
Oh, sure.
And they go like, he's like, do you? He's like, I do. And then he goes, that's just like your opinion, man.
Kurt Russell, Jackie Gleason, and Richie Cunningham's little brother.
What?
All in their finest roles.
Now, I don't understand. How can you do that? If you don't write the name Elvis anywhere, can't anybody put on sideburns and the big glasses with holes in the glasses legs and put on a sideburns and a jumpsuit? Can't anybody do that? As long as you don't say the same way, like all the fucking when you go to Spirit Halloween store and it'll have like party dudes, but it's clearly Wayne and Garth.
It depends.
It
depends on the state. It depends on,
or it's like a pornography star, but it's clearly John Holmes because there's a white 12-inch dildo with it.
I haven't seen that costume.
Nightmare Man, and it's just Freddy Cougar, but it's like a red and green striped sweater and a knife glove and a hat.
It depends a lot. When it's a fictional character, you have a lot of
hungry, scary man.
You have a lot of flexibility as long as it's not like something that's trademarked, like Mickey Mouse. You can't go. There's no knockoff Mickey Mouse costume there.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
But
that has to get its own fucking. That'll get explained in a later Understanding Your Podcast episode. That Mickey Mouse reference.
But you can't have like if you're a real person and you're directly implicating that person, then you're using their image. Like their name is kind of irrelevant. Like, so the party guys, Wayne and Garth, aren't really a person. Whereas Elvis, there's a specific Elvis look. If you adopt that Elvis look and you're making money off it, they can go after you. Usually. It depends on state law. It depends on a number of things. But, you know, if they want to pursue that, they can.
That was just him wearing a costume.
Yeah, a costume that he made famous.
And that wasn't...
Like when you see that costume, there's only one person
His
you
name
think
wasn't
of.
even really Elvis. It was
What do you-
Wayne Aaron Presley.
Like you would get in, like, you wouldn't get in trouble if you went as Little Dictator, but you would get in trouble if you went as Hitler.
I think you probably would get in trouble either way, but for the same reason. I'm going to go on a limb and say you're going to get in trouble if you go into public dressed as Hitler. And you shouldn't do it.
Sued by.
I think you would get
sued by the Hitler estate. Cease and desist.
Well, there is no Hitler estate, so I think you're safe there. I think there are social consequences that you will never live down.
Interesting.
Yeah, you might have to move to a shack in Montana after that.
People are still going to get dressed up like Elvis. I guess I can see it not being advertised with the name Elvis anywhere, but I don't see any way that there are people are. I don't feel like this is even going to slow down.
Well, it's complicated. So you can still dress up as Elvis and go do whatever you want as Elvis. But if you want to have an Elvis themed wedding and you're in a state that recognizes like a name and likeness property right, then Authentic Brands Group can go after you.
Yeah,
right?
But what if you just, oh shit, look, the fucking priest, these are the clothes he wore today.
Maybe he had a stroke on the way into the chapel.
Yeah.
And then he's not competent to conduct your wedding. You need to find a new officiant.
No, because and correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Weddings are just pomp and circumstance.
No, that's true.
Like the legality of all of it is just simply done at the county clerk's office, right?
That's complicated too, but basically
You need an officiant to sign, but that could be.
When you go on the internet, you go on your phone, and anybody can do that in 5 minutes.
I just got some random dude to sign mine.
Just some guy on the street.
Yeah.
Didn't Doug, our guest from 2 weeks ago, sign yours?
Yeah, Doug signed it. He's pretty random. He's pretty random, though.
Was he dressed as Elvis?
Ooh. He was dressed as a little dictator.
So let me ask you guys something. If you can answer individually, what is your ideal themed wedding? If you could go back and do it all over again, and your lady's just like, whatever theme you pick, I'm in.
Like DEFCON 4.
Oh, nice. The movie or just the condition? Like everybody has to come, like it's the post-apocalypse.
I mean, I think you could get that with the movie and the condition.
Okay.
Well, the condition would be more of it would have to be the movie, because the condition would imply that a terrible thing is about to happen.
So I could come in with...
It would have to be the movie.
I could have come in with like just fake radiation burns oozing like pustules, and that would have been cool.
Right. You could just come in as like a real jerk I knew from the past.
What?
Or in other words, yourself.
What? Damn. Ouch.
Oh, smokes.
So Mike, what would your themed wedding be?
Well, I mean, I'm one of the few lucky people that say I got it. You guys were there. It was Doctor Strange themed, and
it was Doctor Strange themed, but the officiant was dressed as a little dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he was a demon,
right? It was one of the many multiverses that.
Yeah, one of the many demonic. That being said, I would have, in a perfect world, I would have been able to afford a giant, holographic Dormammu face, Lord Dread Dormammu, to come in.
Wow!
And say, "You may now eat cake."
Thank you for subscribing to the INS Patreon.